Hey, good evening, everybody. Sorry for the delay this evening. Lots of snafus going on around here at CAF HQ this evening, but I hope everybody's doing well. I've had a very busy week. Now that it's fall around here, I've had to go and spend a bit more time over at the golf course than I would like. But I've got a few meetings tomorrow with prospective buyers, so hopefully we'll get something resolved with that golf course soon, so I don't have to spend so much time there. But yeah, I've been there a lot the last couple of days, and it's been messing up my schedule. But I am so glad to be here this evening with everybody. And so I haven't even looked at the chat yet, but I see everybody, all my usuals are in there, Dino and Mikhail and John and Mr. Red Jack. I've got lots of stuff to go over tonight, and even a package to open that arrived earlier in the week, and I wanted to save it for today. That's I believe it's something from Mr. Wedding and Mr. Mikhail. So we'll have a look at that in a little bit, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's inside of there. So thank you very much, Dino. Sell the golf, more CAF time. Absolutely, guys, absolutely. When I'm there, I actually have been bringing both my Mac laptop and the PC laptop with me, and I'm just not productive when I'm there. Even though it's slower, it's fall, I can't work as well when I'm there, unfortunately. But we'll get over it soon. I have a good feeling. It's 9 a.m. bright and early tomorrow. Get to talk with somebody for the first time face to face after having lots of emails and calls with them. So it should be interesting. And I've got my fingers crossed. So, hey, Fish, nice to see you as well. And Matt, I can name everybody in there. But let's see what we got going on this week. Lots of stuff coming up for next week. And I thought maybe it might be a good idea to kind of jump in and just look at the upcoming schedule. Because, and one thing I should say, part of the reason I didn't do the last Tuesdays with regular CAF updates and interviews was because I was tied up with just too many things going on around here and working over at the golf course and some other drama-related things going on. And I finally have got all of that semi-cleared up, at least, I think. So that's why I will be back on a regular Tuesday evening schedule. And I wanted to give you a heads up on a few of the upcoming Tuesday ones I've got, because I've got the next 3 all planned out. So next week I will have 1 minute later Mr. Michael Finn on, and that should be a lot of fun. I know he's got a couple projects that he's been working on, and we're going to talk about that. But also we'll talk about his art collection and his time on CAF. And then the following Tuesday evening, I will have our regular Comic Art Live chatter. Harry Mendrick will be there, and we'll talk about his collection. And Harry and I are actually working on, I haven't been able to email with him the last couple of days. He sent me some stuff. We're actually working on a CAFU segment as well. So it was something that he thought would be a good idea to do on a Sunday show. And I was like, wow, what you want to talk about is a perfect CAFU topic. So we're going to be putting something together, and we'll see when we have that ready, but it should be really fun. And then it'll also be good to talk with him because he's been in the chat an awful lot, and he was on my list for a long time to have on the show. And then the weekend after the Tuesday after that, I've got Dinesh and Zatari will be on, and that should be a big one. That'll be, what do we call them? That would be a doozy. So that'll be a big show. Dinesh and Zatari. It'll be fun. We were chatting about it for a few weeks, and we're just able to get a date lined up. And so that's going to be, I haven't done a dual interview in a while, so it'll be focused on both those guys, and it should be interesting. They've got a lot of different strategies, and they're going to talk a bit about the things that they do to stay ahead of the curve in the birth page collecting kind of scene, as we know. And I'm looking forward to talking with both of them, because outside of email, I've never met either one of them. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm sure everyone out there is going to be looking forward to that conversation as well. Yes, I agree. It's going to be a big one. So a couple of other things. Man, look at all the emojis in the chat tonight. All right, Scott. Let's see. So yeah, I that Cluesy and Doozy. Oh, here, watch. See, I was playing around with some stuff after last night's show, and I was like, wow, I can actually throw little overlays in here. And I thought that would be fun when I'm doing Dueling Dealers. So plan on seeing some of these for future shows. I thought those would be good. But hey, in the what's your best price, Anthony? I hope everybody that sees Anthony, that's going to New York Comic Con, and when you see Anthony, I expect you to shout it at him every time you see him. That should be a thing. And feel free to record it. Send me you mocking him in that way. I will appreciate it, and we'll probably show them on air at some point. That would be very appropriate. And anybody who wants to shoot anything, of course, during New York Comic Con next week, please do and send it along. Even if it's rough, I can always edit it if you don't have the time to do it. But I would like to get as many con reports from that show as we can. I'm very curious to see how the turnout is, both in Artist Alley and then from the collector's perspective. Obviously, several dealers are going to be there. Anthony, Will, Glenn, I imagine Bashar is going to be there. Felix has said he's going to be there as well, although I think he has only 2 artists that are going to be at the show. I would imagine Jason Schechter will be there. I have not seen a full list of all the art dealers that are going to be there, but still should be interesting. And as I think it'll be a good opportunity for those collectors that do go, because there'll be less competition. So, of course, less people to buy from, less artists to get on commission lists from, but it'll still be a good show. And yes, sorry, tense in person. I know. Well, that's what I want to see. As far as I'd like to think that after, what are we at? We're at 8 months. Right now, we're pretty much 8 months in of doing the Dueling Dealer show. If Anthony hasn't lightened up a little bit in person, come on. But I hear you, Ron. He's always a bit uptight, but I'd like to think that he'll be a little bit more friendly and accommodating and relaxed. We'll see, though. You guys will be the judge of that. You'll have to tell me after the show. Albert, thank you, Dino. Yes, I forgot about Albert when I was making my list. Albert did say he was going to be there. So, yeah, Albert loves giving hugs in person. That I can pretty much guarantee is not true. So, and you know it, Fish. You've hung out with Anthony plenty. Mike's usually a little bit more relaxed, I think. But yeah, Anthony's always the one who's been a little uptight. But maybe with I don't know. He's probably not bringing the whole store, so maybe it won't be so crazy. Maybe he won't have as much staff, so we can relax a little bit. We'll see. And John says he'll be there on Thursday. So Anthony, all right, won't be totally sick of it. Yeah, exactly. Get him early, but please, definitely yell at him. And if you can, record yourself yelling "What's your best price, Anthony?" to him. And it could make it into a meme on Dueling Dealers and just become part of the lexicon of memes that we've been putting together since the show started. Don't do it. No, Mikhail, please. No, don't. Or just as long as they're under and not over. So I feel like I'm in a car lot when Anthony's around. I know. And he shouts a lot too, even when he doesn't need to. So, but maybe he'll bring some cake. That's true, Rick. But let's see. Let me pull up the Dueling Dealer schedule too, because that was we did some updates on there. As we were talking about last night, we are not going to have a regular Monday or Wednesday show next week. We're going to have a Monday show next week. And we discussed it after the show last night. And what we're going to do is it'll be a 12-round affair, 2 artworks per round for each dealer. First 6 rounds will be $500 or less for both of them. And the final 6 rounds will be, the art will be $1,000 or less. So it'll be a mix of our $500 and $1,000 shows. Then, of course, we'll be off that Wednesday. And then Mr. Berkey and I will be doing a show at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. That will be the Raiders of the Lost Art episode that we've been teasing for a little while. And Mike, I can tell you we've selected, we went through some bin dives and selected about 50 artworks. So I expect Mike to have them all priced and ready to go for that show. So we won't have a repeat of the last time we did a bin dive. And but it should be a lot of fun. We have an intro to play. It's not like Dueling Dealers. We're not going to be playing memes or anything, but we did have a little bit of fun with trying to put together what we think would be a fun intro for that. And as far as the regular schedule of that show, who knows? We might do them 3 times a year because it is a lot of work. Definitely for Mike when he's got to price 50 pieces of art he hasn't looked at in 10 years. But we will see. Marcus, nope. Bill Lash art returns. Nope. Let's see. Yes, like the Monday, Samuel. In all the polls that we've done, everybody wants us to stick with Wednesdays. Although we contemplated doing Mondays just to kind of get off of the Heritage Auction Wednesday trip, but everybody prefers it on Wednesday, and I kind of like Wednesday myself. It's a good way to break up the week, right in the middle there on Hump Day. But and I think people are just so used to it now, given how many episodes we've done on Wednesdays since we've started. So, and yes, Dino did bring serious heat many times. You guys. All right. Yes. Thank you, David. And then after that, 3 consecutive Wednesday regular shows. And then I can tell you that the artist that we've got lined up with Talent Talk next will be Mike Oming. And that will be a Saturday, October 30th at 1 p.m. Eastern. We will be doing a special art drop with him. And again, he's similar to Linsner, where he hasn't been out to shows, of course. He does have an online store and a little bit of a presence there, but everything he's going to be bringing you have not seen before. I was actually sent I believe actually 25 or 30 pieces to look at preliminarily, just to kind of get a feel for what they were going to bring and the pricing level of the art. So I haven't had the chance to look at it because I just got that email a few hours ago, but it's definitely a nice mix of like recent work that he's done and some past work. So any chance of a commission with Oming? I did not talk to him about that, but I will ask and see what he thinks. I mean, I know that on his website he doesn't promote the idea of getting commissions, but you never know. I'll ask him. The one thing, and just so those people who got artwork from Linsner, I'm sure you all, if you did buy it, you knew what happened. Joe, this was the first time I was working with Talent Talk on this as well. First time they've ever done anything quite like that. They're used to doing those 5-10 minute in-person, face-to-face between the buyer and the artist things during a con, like they did at Comic Art Live. So they had never done an art drop like that before. What they had worked out with Joe was that Joe was going to send all the artwork that sold during the art drop to them, and then they would ship it out for him just to make Joe's life easier. Well, what Joe ended up doing was waiting till he finished that one commission that he took. And he thought he was good. When we ended the show and we were in the green room, Joe was like, "Oh yeah, I'll probably have it done by Monday or Tuesday," because it was a Saturday. Well, Joe didn't get it done for 2 weeks. So he ended up not shipping the artwork to Talent Talk and until he finished the commission. I mean, had I known that, I would have just asked him to ship everything to Talent Talk immediately, and then to handle shipping the one commission himself. So, but I wasn't aware of it until about 7 to 10 days after the show, and at that point, it was just too far gone. And I just let him know, hey, you gotta let people know, because I went out and told everybody the artwork was going to be shipped within 2 weeks. So, so for anybody who bought artwork during the Linsner thing, I do apologize for that. I should have stayed on top of it a bit more, and I didn't. But live and learn. So if we do something with Oming like that, I would certainly want Mike to ship the art to Talent Talk the day after the sale, and then worry about delivering the commission on his own, even though I would expect him also to finish the commission right away, if he would even do it. So but I will ask him. I will let you know. Yeah, Bill got Snyder. Exactly, T. Last night was tough for those of you who watched that show. And I know, Chris, it wasn't my fault, but at the end of the day, it was me. It was my name on it. And to me, it was my audience. We didn't broadcast that to Talent Talk's channels or Joe Linsner's Facebook group. And whereas we might do something like that with Mike, just to kind of expand the audience a bit more. It was all on me. And I prepped them with a lot of stuff. Because, as far as I went over how I wanted them to ship. I gave them Mikhail's best practices. So I covered a whole bunch of things, but I dropped the ball and I didn't follow up with them. So at any rate, it's what's done is done, and then we'll do better going forward. So Oming is there, and I can tell you that there may be 2 other shows before the end of the year that the Talent Talk is trying to line up. If they don't get them by the end of the year, it's probably something that we would pursue early in 2022. Another couple of big names as well. So I'm looking forward to continuing to work with them, because it's just another avenue for us to get more artists and more artwork out for everyone out there to buy. So, but I will. I've got a note to follow up with Oming to ask about commissions, because I had a talked with him for about an hour, he and Taki, last weekend, just to kind of go over some logistics and stuff, and I didn't even think to ask him about that. But all right, so let's see. Let me get back to the schedule here. So I gave you the rundown on the upcoming Comic Art Live chats that I've got, and let's see. Next up, a couple things regarding next week at New York Comic Con. So, and probably everybody who's going was already familiar with these, but you remember that I mentioned, I think a couple weekends ago, the Philip LeBaum Gallery. They actually have an opening on. Let's see. I'm not sure why that didn't show up. There it goes. Philip LeBaum Gallery on the 7th at 11 a.m. They have a show opening, and they are right down the street from the Javits. So that is on Wednesday and in the morning. But that show lasts for like a month and a half, and so that's the Tonino Liberatore, or I'm probably butchering that name, Poetry Interrupted show. It starts the 7th and goes through the 13th of November. So that's going on during the show. So anybody who, I think it's only like 3 blocks away south from the Javits. So definitely check that out. And if you have the time, then there is actually another show that's going to be going on, and that is with over at the Metropolis Gallery. And it opens on October 8th, and that's Friday. Friday at 7 p.m. is the official opening for that. But the reason I stuck my logo on there is because next Thursday, I'm going to be starting the CAF update at 8 p.m. And because of that, what we're going to do is Micah will be with me, and we will have both Simone and Ken as guests. And we'll be doing a bit of a preview of the gallery opening the day before the official opening happens, and probably doing about a half-hour interview with both artists. So that'll be a lot of fun. I haven't chatted with Simone in a very long time, so I'm looking forward to that. I've never talked to Ken, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm glad that they've reached out to me. We did that one. When did we do that? We did another opening with them probably I don't know. It seems like time flies. It's probably 6 months ago, but that was a lot of fun. But this one should be good as well. And again, so their gallery show officially opens on that Friday. So if you're free, that would be something you might want to check out on Friday evening. And otherwise, hit it up while you're there if you can, or if you're in the area. I don't know. Here, let me see. I actually had let's see. The official opening is on the 8th. It doesn't list a end date, so I don't know about that. But there will be, everything that's presented will be for sale. I can tell you that. So just like the Gordon Murphy show from about 6 months ago, and like Nick said, hit the thumbs up, everybody. Let's see. All right, so got that one out of the way. Other than that, I think that was all the slides I had for you. Well, I can show it to you again. Yeah, there you go. Mike Oming will be with me on the 30th, the day before Halloween. So look forward to that. And as I get more information, I will definitely share it. The couple other bits of news are that it hasn't started yet, but I know that the charity auction that Heritage has a charity auction. This is their 3rd time they're doing the Inktoberfest for that Ed Asner family. See my notes here. Family charity auction. Was supposed to open today, and if I look at it right now, it does not appear to it's still closed, even though it says it was going to open today. So it looks like they probably haven't gotten some of these pieces in. They don't have this Walt Simonson image yet, the Jim Lee, Jill Thompson, and I know those were like their headlining pieces that they've promoted in a lot of their stuff. You can see there's still a lot of other pieces they don't have the images for. So I guess the auction will start soon. I'll try to keep everybody posted in the news on CAF, but hopefully they'll have it up by this weekend. It does run through October 28th, so I'll definitely kind of keep everybody abreast of that once I get more details on when it's starting, because it was supposed to be live today. I've had that tab open all day. I thought I'd have something to show you, but I guess not. All right, so. Yes, there are some neat pieces they've shown, but I know that a lot of people are waiting on a few of those other pieces as well. And bootlegging, what was this? You saw Nick Brucci doing an NFT panel at New York. Yeah. Yes, I know that Nick Nick will be on with me in a little bit too, probably closer to 10 p.m. Eastern, and you can ask him questions about NFTs because they've started to dabble in that. All right, and oh, Nick, you're not. Well, that's too bad. But anyway, so outside of all of that, how about we do the CAF update first? Or should I open the package first? Anybody? Package? Let's open the package first, right? Get a blade here. And I can show you, actually, I did open a package. I got a package earlier in the week from Anthony. I had no idea what it was. Figured I'd open it up beforehand, but I will show it here because I haven't taken it out. It's one of those Nerf Thor hammers. So I'll have to test it out. It fires, the little foam ball, foam whatever's, I don't know, arrows, I guess, lightning bolts. So thank you, Anthony Snyder, for that. What am I going to do with that? Hey, why am I out of focus? Yikes. See, this is bad. I'm using that camera that has that continues to autofocus even though I tell it not to. So let's see here. A Nerf hammer. Yes, exactly. All right, here we go. Nope, no smell. All right, let's see what we got in here. Oh, look at that. A Fred hem. How often I've thought about getting something from Fred on eBay whenever he runs these. It's the genuine Fred Hembeck sketch card, Captain America, 1 of 1. Thank you very much, Jeff and Mikhail. This is awesome. I don't know. I don't want to scratch these. Let's see if I can actually cut this open here. There we go. Wow. I have to run around when they seal this thing. Okay. Well, I won't take them all out, but they are, look at that, poker chips with my likeness on it. But yeah, it's not focusing on it at all, is it? You know what that is, though. You know it's me. You know it's Thor. And it says Comic Art Live on the front, Comic Art Fans on the back. So I guess the next time I see everybody, we can play a little poker, or I can pass these out as tchotchkes. How does that sound? And yes, loving Hembeck cards. I have a few pieces that I've commissioned from him at shows, but never picked up one of the cards. So that's awesome. Yes, exactly. So thank you very much, Jeff. And Jeff, like I said, I'm going to be in Vegas in a few weeks. So hopefully we'll be able to meet up before I know you're going to be going away. And Mikhail, thank you as well. Wait, listen to that. That's like the real McCoy there. Can I exchange a chip for a Cosmic Odyssey page? If only. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. That's awesome. All right. So CAF update. Let's get to the CAF update. Instant collectible. Exactly. Oh, and I should tell you, I know I showed these off before. The Dueling Dealers cards, you've seen, I showed them all off, the 25 that we're printing. I did submit the order today. So hopefully I was hoping we could have them in time so that Anthony would have a few that he could be handing out at New York Comic Con, but that's not going to happen. So they'll start being sent out with orders probably in the 2 weeks from now. I guess we'll probably have them all in hand, but we're gonna sign some. We're gonna give away a few complete sets, that sort of thing. So should be fun. I mean, I'm looking forward to how they all turn out, seeing them together, and another instant collectible. I got to get them graded. Yeah, that would be really funny, wouldn't it? I don't know. I probably won't do that. I'm going to keep a set for myself, though, of course, and I'm sure Anthony and Mike will want theirs as well. But yeah, we're definitely printing enough so that we'll be able to give away probably a dozen sets. During the show, or maybe during the show, we'll work out how we're going to give away the complete sets, and then they'll be just using those either at shows or dropping them in with the art shipments that go out. Just a little collectible, and it might be fun. Post it on Facebook, wherever you want, showing when you get some art from Dueling Dealers and the card that you got. So it'll be really hard to get a complete set, at least this first time out. But after this one, maybe we'll have a better strategy on how we want to do stuff like this. But again, I appreciate these. Sorry, let me move that out of the way. The poker chips and the cards will be going out very soon. So let's get on with the CAF update now, shall we? So this week we are covering the period of September 20th through the 26th, and very average week again. I believe the combined sales between dealers and auction houses was not even $1,000 over 500,000. So it's pretty much average of what we've been seeing for really since all summer. I mean, I'll be curious to see how the fall goes. Certainly the prices aren't diminishing in any way with the places where we track sales, but just the overall sales definitely seem to have tapered off a little bit. But with so many other buying options out there now, dealers, you got, Glenn and Will got their show kind of back a little bit on track and then off track again, I guess. I don't know. While they're traveling. So I'm sure we won't have any shows from them for a few more weeks. But just all the other opportunities that are out there that many of you know about that go on behind the scenes. So that will never be tracked in anything that we do. So 500,000 is still a good amount just between the comic art dealers that I track and Heritage and eBay. So let's go and take a look at the top 6 items from last week from the comic art dealers okay. All right, Mark. Yep. I can work out. Yeah. A Dino card. That's the Dino card is very cool. And of course it actually has the Claim 15 Dino on it as well. And Dino's given the number 1. So yep. I wish I could make it so people can request them. We'll work something out. I know that at the end of the day, I'm sure a lot of people would like to have all of them. I mean, we'll work it out. But all right. So dealer sales for last week. Let me get that video here for you. All right. So total sales for the week for dealers was $210,665. First up is a piece, and it was not one piece. It's actually a complete issue by Bilquis Evely, sold by Felix for $24,000. It's Supergirl World of Tomorrow, issue 3. And next up, this one was sold by Ramita Man, $20,000 asking price. Jack Kirby Chickstone, X-Men number 10 page number 2, large art. And the next 2 pieces were sold by Quan Chang. Don't get Quan here on the list too often. Both are by Joe Quesada. First up is this death metal pinup, sold for the asking price of $8,000. And next up was the cover to Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 24. And this one sold for $6,500. And 2 more, and these were both from Glenn. This is the cover to Amazing Spider-Man. Well, not cover, sorry. Interior to Amazing Spider-Man 382, which paid 20 by Mark Bagley, sold for $6,500 as an asking price. And finally, this was a cover, Captain America 235, unpublished, of course, and it was by Keith Pollard, selling for $5,500. So there you have it for the week. And I didn't tell you before, but the top sellers for the week, Felix was first, just over $69,000. Ramita Man second. 29 sales, $37,000. Panel Page at just over 27. Anthony just over 27. And then Quan with 5 sales and a total of $26,500 as the dealers who broke 10,000 last week. Because usually I try to just only report on those who get into the 5 figures. So there you have it. That was that list of those guys and gals. If there were any, Jason giving the yes, exactly. Jason's is really awesome. I want to be able to send all of my amateur dueling dealer cards out and get them signed and have them come back. So one way or another, I want to get my set signed by everybody. So we'll work that one out somehow. Felix is going to finish. Yeah, I know he has a big art drop tomorrow too. So yeah, Felix will definitely be on top. I don't, and with Felix being at New York, I'm not sure what his plans are. I know he is doing, just so everybody knows, I know he's doing something with the New York, the Felix NY show, but I'm not really sure when that's. I think maybe it's happened the week after. I'm not really sure yet since I haven't seen any updates on that. If anybody else knows, let me know. But that is my guess of the moment. So let's get on with the auction house results. Auction house results were pretty strong, 291,000 this period as compared to 276 the week before. And eBay sold, their total was 147,000 of that. So pretty much just, it was split down the middle. They had 867 lots to make up that 147,000. Heritage had 253 lots to sell for a total of 144,000. So very, very equal, which is odd, but that's usually a little bit higher than normal week for Heritage. And we can look at the top 3 sales from both of them. And first up, of course, and this will be interesting because we're going to see this first piece in the popular artwork in a minute. But here you go. Savage Sword of Conan #1, page 10, first Fred Sonia image. This is from 1974, John Buscema, Pablo Marcos, $7,622. Next up was this Avengers 55 page by John Buscema, George Klein. And this one sold for $6,600. And finally, from eBay, this Incredible Hulk 250 page sold for $4,938. Those bottom 2 panels are stats, but it don't matter because all the important art is original on that one, and they are incredible. And here are the Heritage results, the top 3 from them. First up is this Dave Cockrum Murphy Anderson Superboy page, sold for $5,520. Next up is this Kaluta Batman sketch. It's undated, and it sold for $5,280. That's kind of rich for that one, but it is a nice Kaluta sketch. And finally, this Bob Brown Klaus Janson Daredevil 128 page. This one sold for $4,800. And very awesome. I remember when I think Berkey got a huge lot of, I think the Bob Brown family was selling, they sold a bunch, or I don't know I think they gave it to him and he had to sell it. I can't remember what the deal was. I just remember probably about 14 years ago when he had gotten in that shipment, and CAF was still young. We probably weren't doing premium memberships or ads on CAF at the time, but I remember that page in particular was, I think in that set, there was probably like 400 or 500 pages that Mike had to sell, and sold most of them pretty quickly. But that was a beautiful page. I always loved Bob Brown's work on Daredevil. All right, that flip panel is great. Yep, exactly, Dino. You got that right. All right. But his booth will be there the whole show. All right. So that's why I wasn't sure what Felix's full plans were. I knew that he was going to be there and that he only was going to have a couple artists who were going to be there. So, all right. Let's go over to the popular artwork. And you know what? And I've got Chris Snork again. And I'm going to bring Chris in, even though I'm going to do my stuff first. I want to bring. Hey, Chris, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Bill. Yourself?
I am doing very well, actually.
All right.
You know, I don't like the black background here. I'll put this one in there. That's better. The brushed metal looks much more professional. So Chris will be doing his top 10 after I go through my top 25 here. So let me get my stuff queued up here. And I didn't preview this, so I hope my my production team didn't mess anything up on it. But fingers crossed, we've got everything right here. So here we go. So first up, this is the cover to Doctor Strange 5, and it's in the collection of new member, John Dalmayan from Torpedo, right? Frank Bruner as the artist on that. So check out John's gallery for sure. And then Dinesh's collection, of course, Rob Liefeld, New Mutants 98 page, first Deadpool appearance in that book, of course. Next up, this is in the collection of Paul P. It's the End Splash to Superman 81, and it's by Dan Jurgens and Brett Breeding. Paul's collection just keeps getting better. And this is in Ruben the Collector's collection. Haven't seen Ruben in the chat in a while. Grummett and Hampshire, of course, from X-Men Forever, the cover to issue 23. And this next one is in the collection of J.H. It's Sal Buscema, of course. This is the Spectacular Spider-Man 192 page from 1992. And this is a Wolverine cover, Marvel-made Paragon from Steve McNiven in the collection of Brian Lake. All right, and this is in Carlo M's collection. Keith Giffen, of course, it's Defenders 45, page 22. And this has got Jansen inks on it as well. And Dino made the list. Aquaman number 5, page 30 from 1989. Kurt Swan penciling and Giffen and Alvey inks. And Ilko V's collection, Sal Buscema, Jack Abel. This is the Hulk Annual 5 splash, and it is an awesome one. Next up, McSpidey fan Scott Wingo, Ryan Stegman, and JP Meyer inks on this one. Venom 200, page 72. And even in the title, has also a variant cover. I don't know if it was or it wasn't. And then this is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Liber Mejo piece in the collection of Alex Gonzalez, Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six. Oh, I love Lee's work. That thing is a beauty. And I don't usually do too many roughs, but I like this one a lot. This is Bruce Timm Hulk in the collection of Artless Artmore. Kirby style. I love it. And next up, Daniel Warren Johnson, of course, collection of Pat L. And this is a Luke Skywalker piece and done in Daniel's wonderful take on his approach to stuff. Now, this is the piece I was talking about earlier. It's in Monty B's collection, and you already know what issue and everything it's from. This is an example of somebody who bought the art on eBay and put it in their CAF gallery the next day. I'm sure they don't even have it yet today, but it happens. I had to post it twice for that reason. So next up, this is Ed McGuinness and Dexter Vines in the collection of Dave W. Hulk issue 30 page. And then this is a advance promo cover for X-Men Volume 2, number 1. This is in James Halperin's collection, everybody, and Jim Lee, of course. Now here we have a Marvel Masterpieces card art collection of Steve N, and the artist is David Palumbo. David got to do a lot of these cards, and they're all beautiful. If you're not familiar with his work, check him out. Next up is a Todd McFarlane piece in the collection of Mike Gav. This is from Amazing Spider-Man 316, page 25. This is in Jason Huss's collection. This is from Jessica Jones number 2, DPS, and the artist, of course, is Michael Gatos. Wolvie fan. Wolvie picked up some art last night on Dueling Dealers. This is the cover to Wolverine 89 by Adam Kubert. And hey, another Adam Kubert piece, this time in Jason D'Ambrosio's collection, Wolverine number 1, DPS, pages 8 and 9. And we got 4 more here to go. Next up, this is in Fred's collection. It's Action Comics 511 from September 1980, Ross Andrew and Dick Giordano. And this is in Pat L's collection. Artist, of course, is Nick Darrington. Mr. Miracle number 11 cover. And I really, really, really like this next piece in Ocker's collection. This is by Tom Morgan, a commission with the X-Men versus a Sentinel. I just love Tom's work. This is an absolute beauty. Congratulations, Ocker. I saw this first on Facebook. And finally, a fun piece here by John Romita Sr., collection of Tony S. This is a Hardee's Happy Meal box art from 1993. And I'm sure many of you remember those toys. I think I've got a few of them around here. But those were fun. And I think in Tony's CAF gallery, he posted an alt photo of one of the actual box that the art was for. So those are always fun to see stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed all of those. And Chris, so now we're going to go take a look at your picks for the week. So I will say this week was tough. There were so many pieces that I could have picked that I didn't go after. And I saw you picked a few of the ones that I did that I skipped over. So I'm glad for that. But so what do you think about when you're going through looking at the artwork for the week? Do you kind of have a little anxiety over what to pick? Because I'll bet for me, I also look at the collector. So I'm always like, oh, I don't want to have. I try not to have more than 2 pieces from somebody if they had a really good week. But I don't know. I mean, I'm sure when you're really more just, I assume probably just looking at the art for the art's sake and not.
It depends.
Who owns it? Yeah.
Yeah. I make a couple of passes. I'll make a pass like fairly quick. I mean, it's like 60 pages, I think, normally
Yeah.
ish of art. So I'll make a quick pass, and just anything that like leaps out right away, and I'll get like 20 or 30 pretty easily doing that. And then I cross reference it against yours, and then I lose 10 or whatever it might be. That Darrington Mr. Miracle cover was on my list for sure. Um, I was hoping and knowing that you wouldn't miss the Lee Bermejo, because that was on my on my list for sure, and I don't even
Right,
think.
right. Uh, I know. No, that one, yeah, I had set that one aside early on. Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
So yeah, and then by that point I'm down to like you know 15 or 20, and then I kind of do the same thing you do, where I'm like, I mentioned even last week, like Mikhail, you had already picked something from Mikhail twice, so I was like, maybe. I mean, he puts up a lot of great stuff, so it's kind of hard, but and then yeah, I mean, I try to do stuff on artistic merit, so to speak, I guess. But then too, there's some stuff where I'm just like, I love these characters, or I love this book or whatever. So though, yeah, there's some of that stuff in this week.
Good, good. All right, well, let's get. I'm going to do it the same way I did it last week, where we'll just have plenty of time to talk about each piece. So let's get the images up here, and this first one from Jeff Darrow.
This one was easy. I'm a huge. I mean, I don't really know a lot of people who don't kind of fanboy out over Jeff Darrow, and for a bunch of great reasons. I mean, one, just it's all the line work. I mean, his line work is one, it's singular. It's very unique to him. As soon as you look at something that he drew. But two, these like humongous cluttered compositions that he renders out, and he renders every single detail of every single component. So just a ton of respect for like, what actually I've got two Jeff Darrow pieces. There's one right there, and then there's one right there. So I'm a big Jeff Darrow fan. And then the jet amongst the dinosaurs, like that's a gimme. That's a slam dunk piece.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and I don't have any. I've actually never owned an artwork by Jeff, so that's another correction I'm going to have to make in my collection. And
I sort of early on, when I first started going to conventions, he would regularly come to Chicago, and I didn't realize at the time that he was bringing vellums that he had basically traced existing stuff. And I actually originally thought, I was like, oh my God, I got an image from Hard Boiled. Like, I got a Hard Boiled original. And then somebody, a few years later was like, no, he just like, traces over other stuff and like makes little alterations. Like the Nixon that I have like has a safety pin sticking out of his head that's not in the original image. So stuff like that. It's still awesome. I love it.
All right. Well, Caesar's very happy that his Darrow has made the list. So there you have it. And yeah, and Rich, I did not get to hear that or watch that interview on Kayfabe, so I'll have to check that out. If it was done in the last few weeks or so, I'll look for it. I don't get to catch that channel too often.
He's a great interview. He's super fun to talk to in person.
Well, I think the only times I've seen him was at the Chicago show.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, Caesar for the win. All right, so next piece, and this is one we actually talked about on Wednesday, or on Sunday, but I think it's good to talk about it again. It's because it's a beauty. I mean, I was very enamored of this piece as well.
Unfortunately, I missed the Sunday show. I had some like family stuff going on. We had a birthday, so and I didn't get a chance to watch it during the week. But yeah, I mean, this is so. You don't honestly, I feel like, see too much Plastic Man from Garcia Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
So that on its own is really cool. But the way that he used Plastic Man, or I should say incorporated him into the cover, I mean, is so clever. And that's like one of the best things about Plastic Man, is like how you can integrate him like kind of like into the scenery or into the shot. And he did a great job of that. His figural work is just, I mean, he's kind of, in my mind, he's the, prototype DC artist really for how long. I mean, people my age, like guys in our, early mid 40s, like we grew up with this on t-shirts and underwear and posters and, pajamas and like all that kind of stuff. So Garcia Lopez is a huge thing for me. I also really loved this kind of like generic sci-fi, or like bad guy background stuff that he had going on here with like the reel to reel like recorder in the background and stuff like that. So just overall, like pretty much a perfect Plastic Man cover from him.
No, I agree. It's fantastic. Let's see here. And yeah, this was because it was in Sideshow Bob's collection. All right. So next up, let's see. This was in it's in the collection of. I want to make sure I get the name. Oh well, there we go. Look at that, Mikhail. And how could you can never forget his avatar.
Yeah. So I guess I'm a big fan of artists who are designers, and I would actually say that Jesse Lonergan, who is the artist on this piece, this is from his creator owned title Hedra.
Mhm.
I think that so Lonergan's a great illustrator, but I think he's a better designer than he is an illustrator, and that's definitely showed off here, because this isn't really. I mean, yeah, it's page layout, and it's meant to like lead your eye through, but if you like push back and you look at that as a whole, the page is all just one big design as well, in addition to all these itty bitty little designs that make up the big design. So yeah, just I mean, he's doing stuff that no one else has done or is doing, and that has to be lauded in my mind.
That's an amazing piece.
Lots of different techniques here too. I mean, the sort of the density of those top panels, and then he's got that more illustrative kind of like L-shaped segment down there towards the bottom of the top pan or the top section, and then sort of effortlessly flows into that more illustrative or almost like ethereal like cloudless or cloud section or the wasteland there in the middle.
It is
Just a
yeah,
gorgeous piece.
it's beautiful. Yeah, without question. Good choice.
Thank you. Good choice by ML.
ML has pretty good taste.
He does. He does.
All right. So this one's listed as a Warner Studio artist, but wow, that's very nice.
It's I mean, just tremendous. And this is sort of this is a strong fan reaction from me, because I have a younger brother, and so every day when I would come home from school, my younger brother was glued to the TV back in the day watching Batman the Animated Series in the afternoon. And there's a 10-year age difference between he and I, and so this was the only thing that we agreed on when we were kids, was that Batman the Animated Series was really good. So the for me though, this is really like the Art Deco. The Art Deco style of this is one of the things that's great about the series overall. But some of the technique here too, really, for a quote unquote nameless studio painter. There's some really cool airbrushing here, and there, he clearly was like blocking things out and stenciling things in, and the red sky against the cooler blue tones in the middle. Just for something that was probably on screen for a fraction of a second, this is beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. There's a when I do own some animation cells, but I've always wanted to pick up the background pieces, and it seems like that they're very hot on whenever they come up to market, whether it's
Really.
on eBay on Heritage. Yeah, every time I think, oh, I could maybe get that one for $400 or $500, one that I would really like.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to go for more than what I'm willing to spend. Like I've seen a lot of great ones from Samurai Jack, for instance, that I'd
Okay.
love to own, and I've missed pretty much every opportunity that I've tried to pick one up.
This fella, I'm spacing on the gallery owner's name, but he had another really good piece that I actually had kind of picked out before I saw this one, that had like a car and, you know, some more like building details in it. It was like a street
Hmm.
level versus like an over Gotham level, which is what I wound up going with. But just both really cool.
Mark W.
Okay. Great
from
stuff, Mark.
Germany. All right, nice Lionel Yu piece. Paul McGinnis's collection.
Yeah, Lanil is one of the my list of artists that I don't have anything from. I'm doing a good job as I get older of checking a lot of boxes, and this is a box that I haven't checked yet. So I pay special attention to anything that comes up from Lanil Yu, and uh, him on Punisher. It's a thing where I feel like he should have gotten more Punisher work, because whenever I see his work on the King, he worked on him for like Ultimates, I think, or Ultimate Marvel for a while, and this may actually be Ultimate. I don't recall, but his line work and like the way he draws faces, I feel like in particular, like just really suited the Punisher for me for some reason. So he's kind of a great stylistic match for the Punisher, who happens to be a favorite character of mine. So yeah, this one I kind of picked just based on like a great combo of artist and character in my mind.
I wish the scan was even bigger, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm finding myself wanting to zoom in on this one, and I can't, unfortunately. It's good, but what are you going to do? That's
And there's
you're
so
right.
much of his
He was
penciled,
made for that.
yeah, there's so much of his penciled stuff out there too, which is cool because
Hmm.
he really gets in there and he fully renders, these images really tightly. And I don't know for sure, but I would imagine this was shot from inks for production. It's tight enough to do that for sure.
Right, right. It wouldn't surprise me. Another good pick. So moving on, this is artist Ben Oliver, and it is in Randy A's collection.
Yeah, Ben Oliver is someone who, you see so much of the same format from. Like you see a lot of these like kind of like bust pieces from him. But I don't ever really get tired of seeing them, in spite of the fact that it's basically the same thing over and over and over again, and no complaints. Um, he has an incredible ability to render a lifelike face, and I think that's really what I gravitated to here. I have no particular affinity for Catwoman or anything, but just the her eyes and her lips, and like this is just incredibly well delivered as far as her. It's almost like the likeness, or I'm sorry, it's not a likeness, right? But it's so good. But when you look at it, you're like, who does that look like?
Right. I was asking myself that same question.
Yeah.
So yes, you're absolutely right.
So, and I'm not sure if this, I know he does some stuff digitally, but I think this is mostly charcoal. And if he did this with like Reed charcoal, I mean, what a technical achievement, because you probably know, Bill, that stuff is zero fun to work with.
No, absolutely
So
not.
really cool.
I,
And
I couldn't figure out why they made Reed charcoal, to be honest, because it is so unwieldy. I could never
some
use it.
French guy, right? Some French guy somewhere was like, this is cool.
All right, let's make it in different thicknesses to just prove that you really can't use it, no matter what size, what dimension it is.
Yeah, draw with the flat piece, right? Draw with a big long flat piece.
Right.
That'll be good for you.
Exactly.
But honestly,
No,
this
I
big like
never understood.
swooping, like kind of the curl that goes past her face, that looks like he just took a flat of charcoal and made like one big swoop and then kind of went back after it. But just this, I could look at this for an hour.
Yeah, no, and I agree. It's probably done with vine charcoal, and it's just amazing that it was. Let's see. Next piece. Artist is Wes Craig, and this is in Andrew Chrisman's collection.
Yeah, so Wes Craig is someone who I wouldn't say new to necessarily, but I'm beginning to appreciate more and more. So I really love the way that this page is laid out. So this page for me, I mean, in addition to being really well drawn and really cool, The panel design is gutsy. You know, it's it's kind of a grid, but it's not, because he's breaking out of the grid clearly here in spots, which is just incredible and, like I said, gutsy. But for me, the kid in the middle there with the exploited patch on the back of his jacket, like, that kind of sold the whole deal for me. Like, I'm an old school punk fan, so
Yeah, no, this is great. I mean, I, lo- I
yeah.
yeah, I love how he's drawing the knife and the arm here, and how that's really breaking the panel that's insinuated, but it's coming across. I mean, I think, yeah, it's
Yeah, right.
very well thought out.
Yeah, that kid's knife, I mean, if you want to get technical, like, his arm and that knife are in the panel below it.
Hmm.
Right, yeah, and it's just, like I said, there's a lot of chances taken on this page, but they all work.
Wow. Yeah, no,
To
that's
tell
a
you the
great
truth,
page.
it made me want to look at more Craig art, because, um, and that right there is great to say, because so many people, you're like, yeah, I kind of get what this guy does, and then you, like, move on. But I feel like, I'm interested in this. I want to see more.
Hmm. Agreed. All right, so this is Mark D's collection, and Kevin McGuire and Joe Rubenstein.
So this is a flagrant fanboy pick on my part. I'm a big Captain Marvel fan, from like when I was a little kid. I'm probably like one of a handful of people in the world who think, like, Captain Marvel could beat up Superman. But I also think the Thing has a chance against the Hulk. So what the hell do I know? So yeah, a fanboy pick in the Captain Marvel area arena, as well as in the Kevin McGuire arena. So I think, when I was in probably ninth grade is when Giffen and McGuire and JM were kind of hitting their stride on Justice League International. So that was a big part of, there's nostalgia there for me for sure. And Kevin McGuire, even now, like, his stuff is like starting to mutate a little bit as he as
Mhm.
he has gotten older, but still just such a terrific illustrator. And just everybody knows, like, he's the master of facial expressions, and so you get a few really great facial expressions here on this page too.
I agree. It's lovely. All right, let's see. Oh, another tab. Oh, Chris Stevens. Very good pick on this one.
Yeah.
This is in Pixel Pushers collection.
Felix posted so many, like, really terrific images of this on Instagram, and
Hmm.
I just, like, gazed at them on Instagram for like the better part of an afternoon one day. Yeah, I love Chris Stevens. I really, really don't understand why he doesn't work more in published comics. Like, so much of what you see from him is these, like, insane epic commissions. Um, I was lucky enough to commission him a long, long time ago through Statue Forum, believe it or not.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, and he was really just doing commissions through Statue Forum, and that piece is in my CAF. But he's only, I mean, every time he does a new batch of these commissions, he's pushing it. He's pushing and pushing and pushing, and whether it's the level of detail, or whether it's the number of techniques, or whether it's the number of different media that he's using, and whether it be like this, which is kind of the grayscale option, or all the way through to, like, fully rendered plus color plus 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 plus, they're all just incredible. So yeah, I mean, look, I can't fathom the time that it took him to ink this.
Wow.
And like I say, I wish he was like a regular, I don't know, cover guy for X-Men, or, like, I mean, he can draw anything really.
Right. I mean, I love, because you're right. He's been around a while and primarily doing commissions. And And like a lot of people, you first saw him like around 10-ish years ago with those
Yeah,
color
yeah.
commissions that he was working on, and they were just fabulous. You're like, why is this guy not doing more published work? Because he certainly deserves it.
And like even he has pros who are huge fans. Like Tim Townsend is like, oh my God, Chris Stevens. I've got like 5 Chris Stevens pieces or whatever. So yeah, I mean, and this piece, I mean, not to make it all about the guy, but this piece is just incredible to me. And I love Wildcats too. Like I'm a Jim Lee mark for sure.
All right, and we're following that up with a piece by Travis. Very
Yeah,
nice.
so
And
another
oh,
Jim
Federico's
Lee
collection. Yeah, all right.
link here. So Travis Charest, um, I know, and I'm in this camp too. I know there's a lot of people who aren't into what he's doing right now,
Mm-hmm.
and sort of unfavorably compare it to his previous work or like his late '90s, early 2000s stuff. Um, I agree with that. But having said that, he still every once in a while, like he really pokes one out of the park, and I think this is one of those. So he, obviously it's mixed media. There's some airbrush here. There's some like splatter here. So there's a ton of different techniques. There's a ton of different media he used. Um, that to me shows mastery. It shows mastery of the form. It shows mastery of technique. So I love that. But really, I think what is maybe the coolest thing about this for me is that he struck that, the Thor symbol, which Nick Klein designed. I think this costume, but he struck that out of that like pure black and sort of blue middle ground there, and it's just so um, forceful and distinctive. I love it.
That's beautiful. This is a cover to or variant cover to Thor Annual One. I remember when Federico posted this in one of the Facebook groups. He said that he had gotten this from Travis's website. I didn't even know Travis did direct sales,
I
but
had no idea
right,
myself.
yeah, that was the first time I heard it. I guess it doesn't happen often, and I guess Federico just happened to be on the site probably the same day he posted it, and so he got it and was happy to share it. And I knew there were several people who were disappointed because they didn't even know, like I didn't even know that Travis sold our work on his site. So
No, I didn't either. He was a regular at Big Wow, right?
yes, he was. Yeah, well, we always had, that was one of the great parts of the Big Wow show was the day after the show was over, we all went to Travis's winery and
Hmm.
had a very, had a lunch and had got to sample lots of wines and, it was on a beautiful hillside, Napa. And it was amazing. And,
That's
it was
very cool.
probably Steve Morger, it's back to Steve knew how to take care of everybody. And so those people who would stay the second day, the day after the show ended, whether they were helping at the show or if they were an artist or anybody really that was attending, even guests collectors were invited. So we would always they'd have a cookout there, and yeah, it was just an amazing experience. So one of my I miss those days, but
Yeah.
now they have Lake Como in Italy, and I guess
Hmm.
they're going to be doing that show. It does sound like it's on. I think in May. I'll have to maybe double check the dates on that and see if I can't help them do some publicity for it. But again, I mean, it looks like an incredible lineup if they can pull it off.
Yeah. Bill, can you put up that last comment from George?
Oh, here we
The
are.
one about,
Yep.
because yeah, I mean there's so much to look at here, and the piece is moving in so many different directions. Like the hands are like coming right at Thor. His hair is kind of blowing off the other. Yeah, it's just this is the work of an artist who is, he's choosing to do this art this way. He hasn't changed his style because he's slipping, right? This is how he wants to express himself now. So I have a ton of respect for that, even if people, don't glom onto it the way they used to. So a great comment, George. Thank you.
I agree. And I saw there was a question from Nola Sean about scanning art. Well, usually the answer is just get a slightly bigger scanner. They do make 11 by 17 scanners, and there's several different models. That's the topic that we actually want to cover on CAFU at some point. Is just giving everybody a list of these standard scanners that many of us use, and just going over those tips. But if you don't have a large format scanner, there what is it called, cam scanner, that people use a lot on their phone, that it can also help stitch things together. I've never used it myself, but I know a lot of collectors who don't have proper size scanners will use that, and it tends to do a fairly okay job. But yeah, we should.
I mean, the quality of phone cameras now. I mean, cam scanner. I think Ron Lim said he uses his phone. My friend Eric doesn't have a scanner. He takes all of his, and like once he crops it and like makes it look like it was scanned, essentially, it's great.
Yes,
I think Tony Brischler said that he would give a tutorial on CAFU about scanning, and I mean that would be the guy to do it.
Yeah, no, it was Tony emailed me after last week I think he did, and so he and I think he's got a few things in the queue right now, but probably about 2 weeks where we're going to sit down and kind of lay out a plan of doing a whole episode on scanning. And nope, Ron says he's anti-scanner. But
Ron, I thought it was you who said he had a glass coffee table and he was putting art on the floor underneath his glass coffee table and then setting his phone on the glass. So I guess it wasn't Ron, but it was somebody in the chat one night.
There you go. Ron's actually stitching art together while he's watching the show. And I always forget I have an Epson Workforce, and the model number is WF7840. So it's pretty gigantic. It's hard to kind of see over there, but it's that right there. But it's a great networkable scanner and printer. And if you got the space, they're not terribly expensive, and definitely
that's
worth
what I
the
have
money.
too. It's a brother. Yeah, it's an all-in-one 11 by 17 big bastard.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. It's huge, but I mean, I've got the whole family using it now because it was so easy to get everybody on the network to use it, which I've had a lot of other problems with some other brands that I've tried in the past. This one's great though.
There Ron says the glass coffee. There we go. Okay.
Yep.
I'm glad I wasn't losing my mind. Thank you, Ron.
All right. Yeah, that's also okay. And George said I've also used an iPad for a larger piece. Okay, with an iScanner app. All right. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of ways to get it done, but phones can be okay. The biggest trouble with phones is just trying to get them straight. I'm always disappointed when I see a great piece of art on CAF and they lean the artwork up against the couch or whatever, so it's not flat and the angle's funny. I can't tell you how many pieces that I featured in the popular art segment that I do in the video where I've literally pulled into Photoshop, put it on a new layer, and then had to use the distort to get the darn thing squared up because I wanted to show the art so bad, but I couldn't show that horrible scan horrible phone photograph, I should say. So yes.
Well, you asked me earlier about like how I winnow down. That's a huge one, and unfortunately, there are so many pieces where I'm like, oh my god, I love that. I would love to show that, and I'm like, I don't have the time to manipulate it to make it, or we're showing the link, and it's like, well, what's that going to look like on camera, so to speak?
Right. Nope, I totally agree, and I should say I didn't get a chance to link all of Chris's selections into the description on YouTube, but I will get that in there after the show. Same thing with the link that I put together, because everything that's in my report is on CAF as well, where you can click all the links to see the artworks in more detail. I'll have that linked up as soon as the show is over today. Sorry, I should have had that so you can follow along with us during this thing, but I didn't have the time. Sorry, just reading a few other ones. But yeah, so there's lots of options, but certainly we all would encourage everybody to have a flatbed scanner if you can't help it. And if you've got oversized art, that's when you have to get into using something else. And like a lot of people said, if you have Photoshop, you can scan a piece in multiple segments and stitch them together. It's really not that hard.
Yep.
All right, Chris. Well, again, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
And as always, and fantastic set. And I'm so glad that you've done. This is really your third time doing it. So
Yeah,
it's
appreciate it.
it's becoming a regular thing, and hopefully we'll be able to do it again probably this upcoming week because you're not
All
going to
right.
New York, right? You're
No,
not going to be at the show. Okay, I didn't think so.
no.
All right. All right. Very good. Well, thank you very much, Chris, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye, guys.
All right. So thank you, Chris. Yeah, it's I like doing this. I think Chris has a good eye, and he definitely has a different appreciation for the art than I do, and sees different things than what I would pick up in a lot of artwork. So fantastic. I would never. I looked at that piece by Travis, and I thought, it's an average piece. But now that Chris has pointed it out and we've talked about it, I think totally differently of it now. And there you go. Scott says ranks Chris. Very good and great picks. Everybody and Fish. All right. So I've got Nick Barucci is actually in the green room. And let's bring Nicky Loves Comics in. Hey, Nick, how you doing?
What's going on, man? How are you tonight?
It's been a long week. It's been a long week. So I'm looking forward to the weekend. I can tell you that.
Oh, well, it's a long week because last night was your longest dueling dealers.
Yeah, that was rough. I mean, you were watching that. It was hard. Maureen and Gwen in the other room, they were like, "When is it going to end? When will Anthony stop?" And then, we got the whole new, saying out there, about getting snidered. See, I get it on the screen again, right there, getting snidered.
That is funny. The whole thing, last night the memes were really cool. The delivery was cool. I am convinced, though, if Sharon starts asking for more likes, you'll get far more. We had our second biggest like night. But
right.
And speaking of which, everybody out there, hit that darn like button. It helps Bill's algorithm the most when it's live. But if you're watching this later, still hit like. It still helps. And to all you guys who hit thumbs down, take a hike. If you hit thumbs down, you don't love original art.
That's very true. I bet you by today they're probably off of there. I like I said, I don't know. Let's see how I can tell you. Typically they disappear though right away. But at any rate, what are you going to do? I'll tell you one of the shows I had went viral while it was on. That when I did that art drop for Next Comic Art, and I'd never seen anything like that. We had some really snarky guy in the chat, and who I had a ban. But I'd never seen that happen before, and literally it's got like double the views of any video that I had, and even when the moment it was over, it did. So I wish I knew how that worked, because I've never had that happen on any other show that I've done. I mean, that's kind of odd. That was a Saturday afternoon at 1:00 show, so maybe Dueling Dealers never gets that because it's probably a prime, 9 p.m. Eastern is probably prime time during the week. So, but I'd never seen that happen before, and and there were a bunch of thumbs down is what I was getting at, though, because there was so many people who came into it who really didn't know what they were coming into, and you know what I mean? And
yeah.
So maybe it's better that I don't get goosed up in the live stream stats like that with that particular show. But,
well, it might have also just been like a few people that just said, "Oh my God, look at this! You got to ban this guy," and they started hitting share, and it just went out there.
Right. Yeah, I don't know
why. Well, that's why I always say everybody hit share. Sharing is caring. Thumbs up helps and sharing helps. Let's get the word out there.
Completely agree. Why? Hey, Fish is asking if you're feeling okay.
Why? What happened?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you look tired, or you look like you have a cold. I don't know.
50-50 could be either way.
And that's true. I remember, Todd, you did pick up a couple pieces last night. Thank you so much. That was an interesting show. Definitely. I've not had that much back and forth as well, where it kind of, where we had to double back on pieces a few times, and then all those sales that happened after the recap. So that's when it gets a little crazy. But the funny thing was that when it was all over, we actually did have all of the stats correct. Although somebody backed out after, I know that Mike made it pretty clear that one of those pieces was a unpublished cover. The person who got it thought he said it was published, or maybe published afterwards or something. But so that one, we had one back out, but that happens. I mean, every once in a while, it's like after the show happens and somebody can get more details on stuff. I mean, it's happened like 3 or 4 times. I mean, so that's not a bad number given all the artworks that we have managed to sell. But it happens.
And as long as it's not the same person more than once, you're right. It does happen. You
No.
roll with it.
Oh, Fish said you were coughing, but yeah, it's.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Nah, I just had a sip of water. I wasn't ready, and then it just, went. So, but thank you, sir. That's very kind of you to ask. I love Fish. He and I every once in a while we Facebook Messenger each other, and he's a good guy and has a beautiful collection, a really beautiful collection, and he picked up a Jim Starlin Doctor Strange, if I remember, like a year and a half ago, that was just gorgeous, that he picked up from Starlin at a convention. And I was, as a fan, jealous just because of how beautiful it was. But he got that. And then he and I were talking when he was picking up some other art. And, he's a good guy. And he's one of those guys you don't mind making time for,
I know. He didn't make the cut a few weeks ago on an amazing Infinity Gauntlet page that hit CAF, and literally he was like number 26 on my top 25, and I felt bad about that. But yes, Fish has one hell of a collection. So if you haven't checked it out, it's Fish Benz on CAF, BENZ. So if you go to the premium member page, you can seek him out that way. But,
and I will say it is an incredible page, and that week that he made 26. That was a really strong week. So
it's hard sometimes because just like that's why I asked Chris before we showed his picks. How does he feel when he goes through stuff too? Because it's tough. Usually I end up with about 35 pieces, and then I whittle it down to my 25, and I do a lot of different things. I want to spread the love around, try to make sure everybody gets a piece in, and also try to shift in some different artists and different titles every now and again. So it happens, but check back to CAF every day. If you, I always go to the most comments page. Usually is how I start my day on CAF, and just look at what artwork other collectors are really interested in, and then I kind of go on from there. Then I check out the new page and whatnot. But I always like to look at the most comments, because usually that's where the cream of the artwork world is getting the most attention. And I don't know. That's where I go. That's my advice to everybody.
It is most liked and most commented are the two places to go. And there is some crossover, but not always 100%. I've seen sometimes where some pieces had a ton of views, and like you're looking at it like, how does this only have 7 comments? And then you'll see something that still has a lot of views, but not as many. And it's like already up to 34 comments. I mean, right. Ruben is amazing. Anytime he puts something up, there's like 400 views and 45 comments within a day.
Right. So Ruben could do an episode on how to do art promotion. Because, I mean, he hits the Comic Art L, the mailing lists, and he hits Facebook, the groups there, and he has a good formula for driving traffic, that's for sure, and it works. I think if everybody wants to get attention and eyeballs on their stuff, they should do the same thing. I mean, and most people do, really, right? I mean, CAF is everybody's gallery at the end of the day, and so I know that whenever they've got something to promote, it's usually you're driving people into their CAF. But here's the most commented page. If you've never seen it on CAF, you should check it out every day. I can show you on the menu. It's actually underneath the galleries.
Yep.
And you can hit the most commented there, or most viewed, or recently liked. All 3 of those are actually very good ways to find out what's out there. The recently liked one is usually good for finding artwork that's been on the site for a while, because it's somebody just stumbling on a piece of art that they really like, and then they just click the like button on it. So, I mean, sometimes you go in there and somebody's liked a lot of artwork that you don't like because they just spent a lot of time doing it. But by and large, there's usually some good stuff in there. But you can see, I mean, Albert's been posting a lot, a few choice pieces of late. He finally posted that Art of John Buscema piece, that he picked up on eBay a while back. I mean, and that thing was, I'm sure everybody remembers that one.
That
So
was incredible. That was, I mean, and I think it was a grandson or grandnephew of John who put this up, and he put it at a buy it now of $3,000, I think. And
yeah, it was
when
really low.
somebody told him what it was worth, the person who bought it was very kind and said, "No, you can put it in actual auction. I understand." And that was such a stand up thing to do. There are so few people that would do that.
I agree. Yeah, and it went for like 168, I think, or something like that.
It
But
was it was heritage money. It was absolute. No, I'm not. I mean,
no,
it was.
no, you're absolutely right. I mean, it was, and that was really at a time before the market was getting crazy too. I mean, you knew that piece was going to go really high, because it was about, it was about a year ago, wasn't it? Or maybe it was maybe a little less than that, maybe around 10 months ago. But right before everything started going crazy on the auction platforms, this one went really high. So, yeah, but deservedly so.
I'm going to hurt myself because these are all the little tricks. But I will tell everybody, I can guarantee you are not utilizing CAF enough. Period, hands down. You should be looking at the auctions. There's the auction section. You should be looking at it once a week at the very least. Most view or key. And really, one thing that I like to do is I'll put my art up on CAF first. And then when I share it, I'll share it in the Facebook groups. I'll share it in Frank Giela's Facebook group. I'll show the art, but then I'll put the link that says if you want to see my other CAF items. If everybody should do that, you get to just raise the cume of CAF because it's cool to put it on Facebook, but it disappears within a day. CAF is so easy to search. But to go back to what I was saying, you should check out the classifieds, the dealer offers, and the eBay section at least every few days because there's always so much art that gets added. And even if you don't buy any of it or go after winning any of it, it is just so cool to check out, especially on eBay. I think the only thing that doesn't transfer to your eBay page is buy it nows. So, and that's the only other thing people should do. You brought this up a few times. People should look up buy it nows on eBay because you do get some deals at times.
That is true. Well, the buy it nows do make it over there, but I don't promote buy it nows in on CAF. If that's the thing there. And
Okay.
Marcus, you were right. I don't know what the heck I was thinking about with the 168 comment. It was $83,100.
I think I know which piece you were confusing it with. It was the one that was sold in Heritage a while ago, not too long ago, but a while ago that went for above 150. I think I know which piece it is, but you know what? Even at 80,000, to me, preheat, that's Heritage Comic Link money. That just really is. I mean, look, it's not a cover. It was a calendar piece, right? So.
Right, and it was 13 months ago, so on 8/29, so
yeah,
2020. So yeah, that's a strong price for eBay, ever. I'm sure if I looked at the last couple of years of eBay just to see, that's probably in the top results there. So, well,
the best way. Okay, so Wildstorm CCG. What's the best way to hunt? Let people know you're looking for some specific pieces without adding the published image. Well, I mean, if you have an image that you want, the best way is to post the image. You should post the published image and just put looking for, and you can post it unless I'm saying something that's against the rules. You can post it on your page and it'll go into the regular rotation. And you can post it in your the section where you put stuff you're looking for. You can kill two birds with one stone.
Right. Well, there's a want list that you can manage.
Want list.
For yourself. And that's a good place. Underneath your account and collection, everybody has access to manage a want list. And, from the want list, I mean, there's two sections to it. The want list, one half of it is the email alerts, where you can set up a want list for specific keywords that you're after. If you're a premium member, you'll get emailed immediately when anything's added to the classifieds or the dealer search that match your keywords. And so that's a really good benefit. If you're not premium, you can still set up keywords, but you're delayed by 4 hours. I can't remember, 4 or 8 hours. So premium members have a big leg up on getting announcements because they happen literally as it happens. Every 5 minutes, I go and check against those art for sale tables for anything that's newly added. And if you're a premium member, I scan those keywords that you have right then and there. So every 5 minutes, I'm checking to see if any new artwork has been added for sale that you're looking for. And similarly, there is a section, and you can use images. I haven't put those in there in a while, but you can put in your own want lists, and people can search want lists for when you're looking to make if you want to look to sell art. So underneath art for sale, there is actually, if you're selling, search all want lists. So you can go in there as a seller if you've got something for sale, and you can go in there and search the want list and see if there's any matches on what you've got, and let people know. So back to that question though, for you is Wildstorm, is just, you would want to go into this want list search and post thing and put in your wants there, and then that's the best way to do it. And then also add in the keywords here, so you get an email alert when any new artwork is added for sale.
Yeah, because you also get 100 keywords, right? You get up to 100.
Well, that's on the premium one. I think.
Yeah.
I gotta double check this. Oh, see, I still have it set to 20. I gotta change that, because I think it's set to non-premium members have 10 want list keywords for this feature, and premium members have 20. But I've always meant to change it to 50. I just figure out at an every 5 minute search, that's if I gave people 100, I'd be in trouble.
I'm thinking about, okay, so 100 is for the 2 daily emails you get.
The two daily emails, right?
Okay.
If you go into for those who are premium and aren't getting 2 daily emails, just so you know, that's my dashboard. What am I doing? I want to go to my premium preferences, and as you can see, I get it every single hour. That's kind of for my own benefit, but you can go in and set your own delivery schedule. Like pick 1 p.m. and 8 p.m., whatever you want to do. But there's this section for your keywords, and as you can see, lots of slots. You can fill in 100 keywords here of things that you want to get alerted on, and it targets not only art for sale, but it also lets you know about art that's been added to other people's galleries that are not for sale, just stuff added to people's collections. So if you really like, Jack Kirby Commandy, you can get updated every time somebody adds a piece of Jack's work to their CAF gallery, just in their personal collection. And the other benefit to that too, are that daily, that twice daily email, is that it also includes people from your watch list. So if you're a premium and you're not watching galleries, you should, because you'll get alerted. It won't tell you. It'll show you that for me, that Anker updated today, and Disney Comic Art, Steve, Monty, Albert, all those people updated their CAF galleries today. That's part of the twice daily email as well. So it gets the keywords and the people you're following on CAF.
And the other cool thing is, I'll say some of my keywords are Flash, Daredevil, Submariner, Green Lantern, my 4 favorite characters. And then I've got JLA, Legion of Superheroes, Carmine Infantino, Neil Adams. And what I'll do with Romita, I'll just put Romita instead of John Romita Jr. or Sr., because then I'll get everything Romita. And what's really cool is, because I have the Flash, even if it's some artist I may not be as into or that I wasn't following, and all of a sudden I'll see some Flash pages by somebody I hadn't thought of looking at, and I'm like, ooh, this is nice. It's a nice surprise. It's like a little nice surprise to look at. You start following other collectors, and you just enjoy it. And I got to tell you, the want list section, I've been burned a few times where people have come to me, and I'm a big pay it forward guy. And if there's something that I have that is somebody's grail, because I'm so fortunate, I'll usually consider selling if it's somebody's grail. And I've been burned a few times where people are like, oh my God, I gotta have it. And then a month later they traded it or something. So I actually, when people approach me about stuff, I'll go to their want list and see if they really have it there. Like Zadok was really straight up. He really wanted this Aparo Spectre cover that I had. And I was like, let me just take a look. And it's like, okay, this was actually on his want list. I was like, all right, this is real, And you always want to help out people that need the help, because, this is a great, tight community. As everybody knows, I really love this community. and we all help each other. Like, it's really good. And Marcus helps us all, tongue in cheek sometimes, but he helps us all.
Yes, yes, that is very, very true. And but I know what you're saying as far as sometimes you get burned, right? Somebody says, "I really want that apparel cover," and so you feel like, all right, I'm selling this guy his Grail, and then 2 weeks later, it's in somebody else's gallery because they really just wanted it to facilitate some other deal or something like that. It happens a lot. So that's a good thought, Nick. You go do a little bit of research on a collector when they approach you about something that you're considering letting go. I never really thought about it like that, but because you hear those other stories all the time, where somebody sells something because they really felt it was going to somebody who really, really wanted it, and then they don't keep it for 30 days. So that tells you that they weren't being very truthful. And that does, you hear those stories are out there more often. Well, no, I'll tell you what, in this day and age, I've never seen collectors bond as they have today, as far as helping one another out. I mean, I think this is a really great period, and places like Facebook and the other spots have helped kind of bring those people together so that they're sharing information amongst themselves more than they ever have. And so yeah, if you're not participating out there in those group situations, you should try if you can get into them, because I think it's really made the hobby very interesting in the last couple of years, and that is actually something that when we have the show with Dinesh, that I know we'll be talking about the power of collector communities, not necessarily with CAF, but just finding those groups of collectors who are willing to help one another find artwork for their collections, and how important that is.
No, that's honestly one of the benefits of CAF. For a while when I first started collecting, it was weird. You would almost be afraid. I'm going back to 2014. There was there literally were 2 years where you're almost afraid to let people know what you were looking for, because people might buy it and try and gouge you. And that doesn't happen anymore. I mean, they just did. It was just simple math. They can buy it and sell it to you for more money because they knew you really wanted it. But the community, I mean, look, the whole world is messed up right now, and it's a divisive world, and there's no understanding anymore. Everybody's one way or the other. But what I love about the art community and CAF is this is actually community. It feels like being back in the comic store, talking to people, trading at a convention, and just having a little bit of fun. And that's what the community's become. We really have all helped each other. I've gotten people that have come to me asking for advice. And when I've put stuff out there that I'm looking for, I've had people reach out to me saying, "Hey, I know you would like this. I'm letting you know." It's really freaking great compared to the real world. Let's see. What's your website, or is it's all on CAF? No, LaShawn. It's if you go into premium members, just put Namor. I'm the only one who has Namor in there. My CAF gallery is can't believe I stuttered a second. It's Barry, Matt, Hal, Namor. My 4 favorite characters. So we got the Flash, Daredevil, Green Lantern, and Submariner. So let's see. Let's not forget to hear about your NFTs, please. Okay. Let's talk about tomorrow's show first, and then we'll talk about the NFTs.
There you go. And I was just going to throw a link to your gallery in the YouTube chat here. Let me get that.
Yeah. So Nola, check it out. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. I take great pride in it, and I need to start putting more pages. I tell a lot of people this who, it's funny. I am very lucky in life, very lucky. I have a lot of key art, and I do have 2 of my holy grails. I've got Crisis number 8, the complete issue, which is Perez and Ordway, and my favorite all-time DC series. And my favorite all-time Marvel comic is Daredevil 7. Wally Wood, Submariner fights Daredevil. Daredevil gets the red costume. And I'll always I can never quote it exactly. I always remember the last page. And the last page was Daredevil in the sand trying to raise his billy club, and Submariner saying something like, "You fought valiantly today for a surface breather. I will not destroy New York today, but I shall return." And it was just like this classic noble, effed up nobility. And it was just like such a great one. So the thumbnails came up on eBay for that issue. So knowing I'll never get a page from issue 7, because I mean, never say never, never, but Jesus, how much it would go for today. The thumbnails for 7 went up on eBay, and I did something I've never done before. And I got advice from a friend who said you should have at least 2 windows up when you're doing eBay. And for some reason, I'm the king of digression. So whenever I'm bidding for something, I like numbers a lot. So I'll either pick, as you know, comic book numbers. I love comic book numbers. Mm-hmm. As you know, trying to make hit the likes a little bit more exciting. And thanks, Fish. I appreciate that. Or poker numbers, because I love to play poker. So the thumbnails came up, and it was like at $800, and you knew it was going to go for a lot of money. So I put in $14.44 and 40 cents for 4 fours in one window, $22.22 for 4 deuces, $33.33 in the third window, and $44.44 in the fourth window. And I did something that was scary, but everybody's always trying to snipe. And so at 13 seconds, I hit the 1444. I'll never remember these numbers. I'll never forget these numbers. So I hit the 1444 at 13 seconds. At 11 seconds, so 13's an Italian good luck number. At 11 seconds, I hit the at 11 seconds, I hit the 2222. At 7 seconds, I hit the 3333. As you can notice, I kept hitting lucky seconds. And then since I had 4 fours, at 4 seconds, I hit the 4444. And basically the underbidder went 25. So I was at 33.33. They went to 33.58, and I ended up winning it for 33.83. And I was like, oh my God, thank God I didn't do just 2. Because, everybody starts to bid up. And you won't believe who I beat out. The Wallywood estate.
Oh, the Wallywood. Oh, that's right. I remember. Why didn't I think that? Yes, that's right. We talked about that once before. They're trying to get him back. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I always found myself lucky to have such great art. So I'm always willing to help people out. But the one thing when you tell people this, they kind of don't believe you. It's like some of my favorite pieces are small pieces. I've got a Carmine Infantino page of Kid Flash taking the stand in the trial of the Flash. And there was this look on Kid Flash's face of being really sad that he had to take the stand against Barry, against the Flash. And it's one of my all-time favorite pages. It was a $200 page when I bought it. But I have to tell you, once every month or two, I pull that page out to look at it because that left such an impression when I was a kid, seeing your favorite superhero in jail for, it was just one of those. And then, you read those stories now and you're like, ooh, that story wasn't that good. But back then,
oh yeah, of course. So hey, want to talk about? How about you want me to show you a preview first, or?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
All right. We got a little preview video, and then we'll look at the art directly. Let's see. I know I got it right here.
Hey everybody, this Friday, October 1st, on the Original Art Experience, we have some really cool artwork in a great variety. I'm going to be all over the place here, and those of you who know me know that's the way I am. We're going to have Brave and the Bold 135 by Jim Aparo, one of my favorite artists. We're going to have Thanos number 5, page 3, with Thanos and Pip the Troll by Jim Starlin himself. We're going to have Green Lantern Emerald Dawn by Mark Bright. We are going to have New Avengers by David Finch. We're going to have Avengers by Kieran Dwyer. We're going to have War of Kings, Scar number 1, Power of Shazam, A little bit of Grendel with everything going on with Grendel. Cully Hamner, Future's End. Hordak by Keith Giffen and Scott Koblish. And the big one, original art by Alex Ross, the Teen Titans plate, the initial pencils that he did before he went to paints. We are offering the pencils for sale. This is coming with one of the plates. It is signed by Alex Ross. It is framed together and beautiful. This is the first time we've had Alex Ross in this way at the show. So Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only on the Original Art Experience. See you then.
There you go. 7 p.m. tomorrow on the EXP.
And we're going to do something we've never done before. Let's see, where are they real quick? Okay, so Jason Schachter helped donate 2 pieces of artwork for Save Whiskers Rescue a little bit ago. And then when COVID happened, we never got to put these in auction. So what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to start off the show with these pieces from Jason, Essential Sequential, Jason Schachter, Essential Sequential, and Keith Giffen through Spencer Beck of the Artist Choice donated this splash page. So I'm going to do something we've never done tomorrow night. We're going to tell everybody, it's not going to be an auction per se, but we're going to say to everybody within the hour, everybody make your best offer. And at 3 minutes to 8, the strongest offer on each one will get it. And with everything that's going on with Grendel right now, this is a perfect time. And hopefully we'll raise some money for charity. And you'll be able to pay the charity directly. You'll just pay us for shipping. You'll write the check or credit card or PayPal to charity to Save Whiskers. They're a 501c. And you'll get a tax write-off too. So hopefully we'll generate a little bit of money for them and help them out. You know, that's like one of the other things I do when I can is help raise money for people who need it. So, and
that's it. That's a good one. I've never thought, I've pondered doing, we tried those auctions on Dueling Dealers. So I never liked that, but I think doing that, just make an offer kind of concept and then take the highest offer at the end. I mean,
yeah,
it's the same kind of thing, but it's a little less aggressive. I guess that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it'll be something where we'll show it up front, then we can come back to it a few times, without going crazy. I've got like the 2 pieces I bought from Jason. I'm going to just offer them back up for the price I paid them pretty much. I wanted to support Jason when you guys did the amateur Dueling Dealers. He's such a great guy. He's got so much passion and so much knowledge, and there's just, I'm doing something. I think this may be the second apparel I've ever offered, and this is from Raven the Bold. So I just want my whole thing for the people that don't get a chance to watch it. Nick needs to start saying ho, 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 real life Saint Nick. I don't know about that, John. I appreciate it. That's very kind, but I'm not sure about that. But thank you. I like to do these shows. I bring some of my personal art. Obviously, these 3 pieces were donated. This actually, well, those just went down in price.
As long as you didn't tear one in half.
Oh my God, that was the most embarrassing thing, tearing two of them, period. Yes. Thank God not fully in half. And then one of the fans wanted to buy one. They were like, I want to buy a Nick Barucci ripped original art piece. And it was funny because I had sold it for $300 and then I felt bad. I was like, I tore this. You have to buy a frame to make it look good. Let me just drop the price to $275. So, but he was a good customer. But this, I actually, giving a little bit of prop, I actually just got this from Anchor, and I think it's really beautiful. And I just decided, you know what? I've never had anything Alex Ross. This is a really good piece. Let me see if anybody wants it. I figured I'll try it. My whole goal with the Original Art Experience, as we've said, I love this community. I love the hobby. I love collecting original art. And I'm just trying to grow the market, trying to bring a little bit more awareness. It's great to have support from you, Bill. I really appreciate it. And have the CAF members who come in and watch. And a lot of people come in just for the camaraderie that we have. They're not necessarily coming in to buy, but we have fun. And we do pick up a few new members here and there. And we've had a few people that have signed up for CAF, which is great. And one thing I'll say to everybody, if you were to sign up for premium membership for the $75, and then for both memberships, it's $150. That's $12.50 a month to get all that access. That's cheaper than Netflix. I mean, it's cheaper than Netflix, and it's your hobby, and it's literally. It's endless. The one thing I think people don't think about, we talk about going there a lot each day and checking out the most comment and the most likes and look at the dealer section and everything. But the one beautiful thing about CAF is you can take your time and look through over 1 million pieces of art. You could just, over time, you can visit, you can revisit, you can hit your favorites. It's just really, really nice. And, look, $150 is money. It is money. But if people can afford it, I think they should hit it up, And
we're doing pretty good now. It's with those comic art live shows. That's definitely helped raise awareness of the benefits of premium memberships and whatnot. So things are good. I appreciate I appreciate every member on CAF at the end of the day. I mean, the fact that people want to share their art with other collectors, that's the first step, right? I mean, there was never a concept of doing premium stuff when we first started. We just wanted to have fun and look at artwork. And I'm so glad that everybody, there's so many people that like to do that, whether they can afford it or not. At the end of the day, I'm just happy I'm happy that we have over 1 million pieces of artwork to look at on CAF, right? I mean, before I started, you didn't have any sites really out there that, you could see more than maybe 500 or 600 pieces of art at any given time, even on a dealer site. I mean, we pretty much, we did a lot of work to get the dealers up to speed with regular, with good programming and whatnot. So, it's a great thing. And I appreciate everybody's support on the site for that.
No, it's great. And, owning a business, and we get to have the fun of what you do. Seriously, we get the good part. But, and you and I have touched on this, the amount of work that goes into all of this is incredible and tremendous and should never be taken for granted as fans. Even the amount of work you put into dueling dealers every week. I mean, that's got to be a 10 to 12 hour thing, just getting everything ready, wrangling everything, creating the memes, thinking it through. And, not only the 2 hours of the show, but then, all the follow-up and everything that happens after that. It all adds up.
Well, it is a lot of work, but, so it's always been a labor of love. Some days it feels like work with Mike and Nathan, but other than that, it's all fun and games for the most part. I mean, what are you going to do when you're doing something that you enjoy? It's always a lot of fun, and I'm grateful for all of that. I mean, come on, I got a Fred Hembeck card in the mail because people.
I know that was cool.
Absolutely, and poker chips. I mean, with me on them. I mean, come on, you just can't get that. That's not going to happen anywhere. So I love everybody out there.
So you're going to Vegas?
I am. Yeah. One of the guys that when we started CAF, I had a friend of mine and I were both collecting art, and he helped start CAF and work with me on CAF for 15 years before he took another job. So I haven't seen him in a long time, and he's got some seminar thing going on in Vegas, and he asked me if I wanted to join him, because we had been there a few times in the past. So I haven't seen him in a long time. And, he's always been an important part of my life, and he's still a part owner in everything that we do. And I lean on him for advice on the servers when I have problems. So he's still an integral part of the team, even though I really can't, I can't lean on him too often, but I do ask him for a lot of help here and there. So he's very special, and I can't. So I'm looking forward to seeing him because I haven't seen him in over 2 years. So
nice. That's nice.
Yeah. No, but normally I wasn't going to do anything because of COVID. But I'll tell you, I'm going to be wearing a mask the whole time I'm there, and I'll still have a good time. But
no doubt, you have to. There's no choice. By the way, I want to compliment Chris being on your show on Thursdays. He's been really great, and I loved what he was saying. Not only about Travis, but also what he was saying about the Jose Luis Garcia Lopez Plastic Man cover. I thought that was some really great insight there, and it's always it's always nice to see how you have variety. Obviously, talking about the things that I enjoy. You've brought so many different collectors for us to get to know, and that's pretty cool too. And then when you go to a show and you finally meet somebody, you're like, oh my God, I feel like I've known you forever. I saw you on Bill's interview, and I see you in the chat all the time, and it's about time we met.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back to shows. Trust me, it's going to be a lot of fun to get to see everybody that I've been chatting with through here. It's not the same, face to face, but it has been a lot of fun. But yeah, going back to the Alex Ross piece, I've actually Sal and I have been chatting for a while. With luck, he'll be after let's see, he'll be 4 weeks from now as far as doing an interview with him. So
nice.
I've been wanting to, Sal and I have been friends for a while, and we've talked about doing just an online, just an interview with him, and I know that'll be a lot of fun because he's collected art for so long, and he's worked with Alex and Bill Sienkiewicz for such a long time. I know that there'll be a lot of fun stories, and he's got a real professional. At shows, nobody has a booth quite like Alex Ross Art, right?
Even before that, I think Sal's one of the smartest art dealers in the industry. Even before he had the booth, the big booth, he always wore a suit. Look, he's selling artwork that's $25,000 or more. Some pieces that go, that Beatles piece was, I think, either $75,000 or $100,000. And so, when you go to his booth, he and Chris and everybody, they're wearing suits. They're very professional. And, we're used to a lot of the art dealers that are very laid back. We're all in the trenches, but they have a clientele that, there'll be people that'll spend $80,000, $120,000 to a degree. Psychologically, wearing the suit is important. But I will tell you a funny story Sal once told me, and I don't know if he'll remember this. So without naming names, at a San Diego, and this must have been like 10 years ago, maybe even longer. He had two art collectors that spent over $50,000 each, maybe even close to $100,000 each, and they were friends. And after the show, they went out to dinner with Sal, and they were arguing at the end of dinner about who should pay more because who drank more wine out of the bottle.
Nice.
I thought that was the most hysterical thing in the world.
That is totally funny. And sorry, just looking at the chat here, NSN. I was thinking about reaching out to John before I go too. I'll probably shoot him an email tomorrow. He and I've actually never talked, even though I've seen him at Big Wow and whatnot, but we've never had the opportunity to chat. So we'll see. I don't know if I'd want to be able to do it in person while I was there. We should try to set something up. And you're right, Moy should buy suits for everybody, not t-shirts. So
actually, the one thing you should do if you have time is not do the interview with John, because you're there to have fun. But if you do make it to the store just to say hi, do a quick little video like
definitely. Yep, absolutely. But I figured, well, I'll just see if he's gonna if he'll be there. But it was on my mind, especially with the the Jim Lee sale and all that stuff. I mean, not that we probably talked too much about that, but I just thought it's good timing. And literally, he just created a CAF gallery and went premium the moment he did it because he knew we could get the big scam. So I shot him an email right after he signed up, thanking him for signing up, because I knew he was going to be posting some really great art, and he did. Yeah, I could have shared or put 3 or 4 of his pieces in the popular portion of my stuff just because he's got a really amazing collection, as most people know, and now are really going to get to know because he's on CAF. So very, very cool. So before I forget, there was that question about NFTs, Nick. I don't know if you might want to say about that. I don't want to belabor it too much, but I know that you took you dipped your toe in the water, and at least to kind of see what was going on there. So what have you done?
Well, it's definitely different. It's a new audience. It's fun. It's different than I thought it would be. I will say we waited to work with companies until they were more friendly to the environment. So we're working with TerraVirtua.io. They moved to Polygon, which is 1/100th of a Ethereum. And it is something called proof of stake, not proof of work. Proof of work is when you go through every single owner and all the way to the origin every time there's a sale of whether it's Bitcoin or the NFT. And proof of work is just confirming that you're the person that owns it when you sell it. So we waited. We could have done this back in February when all the heat was there and everybody was excited. But we waited for this, and we're also working with On Curio, and they're carbon negative. They are planting trees, and while I do recognize that it takes 5 years for a tree to take effect, they're at least planting the trees. And again, they're using very little energy with proof of stake versus proof of work. And we're just out there. We're doing comic books. We're doing graphic novels, statues, lithographs. We are doing tokens. We're doing blind packs. And I'll announce it here. With Terra Virtua, we're going to be auctioning off some of George Perez's earliest work as NFTs, one of ones. So, and the one thing I want to add that we're really excited about, publishing is tough. No matter what anybody says, publishing is tough unless you own Marvel or DC, where you're making more money licensing than you are, tenfold more money licensing than publishing. When you're a licensee, publishing is tough because you're paying. But on the NFTs, we've created a profit pool for all the creators. So if we sell a comic or a graphic novel, the writer, the artist, the penciler, the inker, the colorist, and even the letterer are getting participation. We are making good money on it, and we're giving it to everybody, and we're giving it to them in perpetuity, because there is no point in being greedy and keeping it all. These guys work hard. We don't have Marvel and DC rates. We couldn't afford Marvel and DC rates. So this is a reward for the creators whose work we're turning into NFTs. And, I'm really proud of the fact that we're giving participation to everybody. And I'm really proud of the fact that we're giving it to them in perpetuity. And that's the agreement we have with our rights holders as we moved into NFTs. Even with our licenses, if we're doing the NFT, we will obviously profit in perpetuity because we made the sale, but so will the creators. And then, with the tokens or the trading cards, it'll be the penciler, inker, colorist, or painter. So we're trying to really excite everybody. I know a lot of people, NFTs weren't my thing, to be honest. They just weren't, but there's an audience for it. And believe it or not, there's a little bit, not a lot. I don't want to oversell it, but there is a crossover where we've had some consumers that are NFT collectors actually come back to us to buy digital copies of the regular comics because they enjoyed it. They enjoyed the experience. Most people, I will say, most of the fans that enjoy the books, the emails we get are, when's the next graphic novel, or when's the next issue? I want to buy the next one. And when you're selling these for $6.99 or $20.99, $29.99, or even $100 graphic novel, it's amazing that these sell out. So that's what we're doing. TerraVirtua.io or oncurio.com. We're working with both companies. you'll see, and I will tell you this. I mean, I've got to, hopefully I'm not sounding overly boasting here. It's not my intent, but I'm very fortunate. We've had good relationships with a lot of people, and Jim Lee was pretty happy that we were taking care of all the creators. And we're doing a lithograph NFT of one of his pieces that he did for us, a Red Sonja cover that we turned into a lithograph, and he promoted it for us. So that was really, really nice. But he's the publisher of DC Comics, chief creative officer and VP. Yet at the same time, he's a creator at heart, and he saw that we were taking care of everybody. We let everybody know before we launched, you're making money on this. You're making money on $1. This is not a situation where we feel we need to get a base before you make some money. So it's pretty cool.
That's the way to do it. And that's what, that's the beauty of NFTs at the end of the day too, is that, it does hopefully protect artists in perpetuity, giving them a bit of a royalty on art sales. So there's a place for it. And I'm sure that as our hobby evolves and as NFTs evolve, it's going to become more and more important in our day-to-day collecting. So yeah, I think it's a great thing.
I have one downside to NFTs. There is one downside. I am convinced that some of these NFT collectors are going to come into the art hobby and drive our prices up.
I think they already are, in part. I mean, some of those, at least some of the people who are in Bitcoin, are finding ways to get in here. But what are you going to do? That's it's still at the end of the day, it's new collectors one way or another. Art Chemist, I won't be at New York Comic Con. So
I won't either. Between all of the safeguards, it almost feels like it's going to take you 3 hours to get in, no matter what. They're only letting 40,000 people in, and part of my philosophy on this is I don't want to risk my employees or their families by asking them to go to the show. It's still 40,000 people, and that's a lot of people in one place. But also just all the work it's going to take to get in and out. I mean, I just don't want to drive my employees crazy. I don't want to risk their health. And, this year is, the year of skipping New York and skipping San Diego. New York has all of our support. If they ever need anything, we're here for them. And I'm glad they're holding the show. It's good for the retail community. It's good for the fan community. But yeah, it's the show that, it's so close. It's 2 hours away. And I know I'm going to be sad when it happens, not being there. But at the same time, next year, hopefully the world will be in a better place. We're getting there.
That is my hope as well. That's why I was going to delay anything until next year. And I was trying to find, somebody asked me about the X-Men lamp. I'm going to have to dig that up and figure out where I picked that up from. I've had it for a while. It was one of these custom boutique places. I don't know if you can even get them anymore, but I'll look around, see if I can find it. Definitely.
The one thing I want to throw out to everybody real quick is remember, Dueling Dealers is on Monday this week. Monday.
Yep.
Don't forget.
We'll have it. Wednesday we'll be off, and I'll be doing a fun sale with Mr. Berkey on Saturday. Next Saturday.
The 9th. The 9th.
On the 9th, yes, at 5 p.m. in the afternoon on Saturday, we'll be we'll have at least 50 artworks to show off and sell that Mike hasn't seen in 8 to 10 years. So it'll be fun, and I think you're going to enjoy it. I enjoyed going through the artwork to pick the pieces out with him, and I think it'll, it's hopefully it works out well, and then we'll do another one sometime early in 2022. But Mike's always skeptical when we start to do something new, so this is definitely something new for him. But I'm sure it'll work out fine.
I think so. It's been fun. The scavenger hunts have been fun. Just find those JLA 200 pages. I know he has to have some. The odds are there.
I know. Trust me. I've been sent lists by people saying, "Hey, if you find one of these, you please let me know." And just obscure stuff, things I probably would never even remember when we're digging through things. But there was one. It was a really obscure David Latham, like Warriors of the Plaza, but it wasn't Warriors of the Plaza. It was some Warriors of something, from that era. And I was like, oh, I think I found like the cover to issue 4 or something like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I found something this guy wants. And I went and I looked. And of course, it was not the right title.
Close.
But it was close. It was really close. So I didn't even tell the guy. I was like, oh, well, that's not what he wanted. But I'll try.
It was funny the night you did the Dueling Dealers for Mike, because he was away, and you had the Flash and the Just Go Daredevil, and I was like, because I watched it later because I wanted to see it. It was fun, and Dino was great, and it was a different mix seeing you and Anthony, and I was like, can't have everything. And it was just good to see. It was good to enjoy, and it was, that's one of the cool things about Dueling Dealer. The way it's evolved is that you're able to have fun with it. When you bring Jordan on, it's always good, and I want to see Albert back on. I really want to see Albert back on.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I'll try to work that out. He and I haven't talked in a little while, and I know he's busy, probably getting ready for New York. But yeah, I'd like to have Albert back. I'd like to have Dino back at some point. So even whether it happens this year or it happens in 2022, one way or another, I'm sure we'll have both those guys back on the show. And Jordan knows he's welcome anytime. And at the end of the day, we have so much fun with that show. It's I wish we can get more people encouraged to drop in and just you can name your price levels. We'll figure out a way to make it work. But hey, just before we sign off today, I do remember at least the name of it. I was digging through my emails here for where I got the X-Men lamp, and it was from a company called Lamp in a Box. And I don't know if they have their own website, but they sell through Etsy and several other online venues like Target.com and whatnot. So, I'll poke around and see if I can actually find it. But Lamp in a Box, I think it was hyphenated too. But if you Google that, you'll find several outlets for their products. And at one point in time, they had a license with Marvel, and so they had a lot of different Marvel-related lamps like that. So
put the word X-Men in with it, because I'm sure if you do just Lamp in a Box, you'll get a million things. So at the very least, if you put X-Men in it, you'll find a link that'll lead you to their site.
Yep, definitely. But all right, Nick. Hey, listen, it's we're over the 2-hour mark. It's been a lot of fun as always, and
thank you.
I appreciate you having the time tonight. Everybody should tune into Nick's shows tomorrow at 7:00 on the EXP. It's on. You're on YouTube and Facebook, right?
YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and our website. But just stick with YouTube. If you're here, just stick with YouTube. It's the _experience, and you'll see the Black Experience logo. You'll know you got the right one.
Exactly. And you do a show what other nights of the week?
Mondays and Wednesdays from 6 to 8 are comic collectibles.
Okay.
And we do have remarks on those shows. We don't have full out original art, but we do have remarks. So.
All right. Very nice. All right, everybody. And it's been fantastic. And I should remind everybody there is a show on Sunday as well, another collector chat. It will be Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I hope everybody can tune into that. I don't believe I've got the topics yet, but I know who the panelists are. So it should be a very good show. And again, Nick, thank you so much for being with me again this evening, and to Chris earlier for his fantastic 10 picks. I'm sure we'll probably have Chris back next week as well.
Cool. Everybody, have a great night, and thanks for supporting CAF and Bill. This is a lot of fun, and from a selfish point of view, the fact that Bill continues to do this, we all get to have more fun. So thank you to everybody for being here.
There you have it. All right, everybody. Take it easy, and we'll see you again soon.